Alright, so this time we got the Model O from Glorious. That is the Model O review I had promised in the previous video, or 2 videos ago, which would have been Model D, whichever one of the two I decided to upload at the whatever time. So this is the review of the Model O. I'm going to leave the story to the Model O versus Model D review, comparison, but essentially, I went ahead and bought the Model O as well, just to compare. And let's go ahead and start. As far as the build quality goes, I was kind of shocked, but then I remembered, yes, the Model O was released before the Model D. Build quality here, I went with the glossy white this time, which is 68 grams as well. It was actually kind of questionable, honestly. Not that there's an issue with it, it's just the glossy finish kind of makes it feel cheap, I'm not gonna lie. Feet feel fine as well, there's nothing to complain about. The Ascended cable here, it's the updated cable, and the packaging that it came with by ordering directly from Glorious is exactly what you would expect, the updated packaging, because the original Model O's came with a bend here, like the cable went into the bottom of the box, and that caused some issues for many people where the cable would just die out on them and they had to get a replacement, exchanges, and blah, blah, blah. So Glorious went ahead and fixed that issue for them. And now you got the Model O here, the updated version, which features the updated stuff, including the updated box. So what comes inside the box? You've got the snack as usual. You have the stickers from Glorious, Beard Guy, the PC Master Race look. You've got the welcome to the Ascended kind of message. And you have the message from the CEO itself, which is essentially, thank you for purchasing our stuff. We're really grateful. And, thank you for providing us with this. Hey, an extra snack. Cool. Also comes with a quick start guide, which essentially explains that the stock setting for the RGB is a rainbow wave, and the DPI comes at 400, 800, 1600, and 3200, and features a DPI indicator as well, which is located right here underneath my unit. It's very, very nice, actually. Very nice additional feature that I highly welcome here. So that's pretty much it as far as the packaging goes. And it's a pretty decent, stylish looking box that, if you choose to, can be kept for, collecting purposes. And it's pretty nice. You can store some stuff in there as well if you don't, if you want to multi-use, like use it while keeping it. Now, as far as the build quality here goes, it just feels kind of cheap because of the glossy finish. And as far as the cleanliness goes, it does have a decent amount of grip to it because you're using, I don't know, I guess it just has a little bit more grippiness because of the gloss. But the problem is, and let me see if I can capture it on camera here, it gets really, really dirty real easily. I've had this thing for like a week or two, and I mean, look at that. That's grime. That's 2 weeks worth of grime right there. And I'm not even using it like for, hours and hours of the day. I'm relatively busy, so I probably use it for, like an hour of gaming per day, something like that. Sure, it's easier to clean, but it's easier to dirty up as well. There you go. Comes with the bearded guy right there. Very nice look. Very, very nice mouse overall. What else do I have to say about that? Let me update myself real quick. So buttons feel relatively crisp and somewhat simple to use. As far as the button placement here on the side, the buttons are not that large. However, because of the placement next to the thumb, I am able to use them no problem when for immediate use, like say in playing an Overwatch and that kind of stuff. And I have no issues reaching for these whatsoever. So I really appreciate that. That's a nice feature. What else? When I squeeze really hard on the sides, it only creaks a little bit initially. But I mean, I think that's relatively normal for a $50 mouse, and I really don't see this breaking on you anytime soon unless you're straight up neglecting the poor thing. You know what I'm saying? As far as the features go, it features RGB on the sides, inside, and on the scroll wheel, as you can see right there. However, it's not very bright. It actually looks kind of dim, kind of pathetic if you ask me. And just an FYI, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the lights here for a second so that you can see this well. We turn that off, and you can see the RGB splash out right there. It splashes out to all sides of the table, but then if you can notice right there, it splashes out like a beam of light right there on the side for some reason. I don't know why. Because of there's this one light right here on the side that just splashes out in this direction, and that's quite terrible if you ask me. This is just I'm really not satisfied with the RGB, but at least it provides you with some RGB to keep you satisfied and whatever. So I'm not really satisfied with the RGB here, but it is what it is. It does feature something at least. Now, optional software can be downloaded to adjust the DPI, RGB effects, and more. So I personally have it set to the purple static DPI of 1000 and 2200, and you have to set the debounce time to 6 milliseconds. Listen, you have to, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I experienced failed clicks until I changed the setting on the mouse. So just an FYI, I highly recommend that you do this sort of thing. If you want to see, if you want to make sure that there's no mistakes here, because yeah, I was experiencing failed clicks, mostly when surfing the web, maybe when gaming, but once I set it to 6 milliseconds, that issue went away completely, and there was no double clicking or any sort of that type of rumored issue that you could find on this mouse. So I'm glad to see that. Now, as far as the comfort goes, this is an ambidextrous mouse, which means that it's going to fit both lefties and righties. However, it only features buttons on the left side of the mouse, which means it will only cater to right-handed people. That's a good thing, except, well, it's not a good thing. If it's an ambidextrous mouse, it should have buttons on both sides to cater to the left-handed population. That's me, you know. I'm not a lefty, but seriously, if I were, that would piss me off that they would call it ambidextrous and then not really have it be ambidextrous. That's just me, though. Now, it's a safe and comfortable option, but I found that my ring finger's nail, forgive my dirty nail, whenever I hold the mouse like that, it slightly digs into my skin. Not like in a painful way, but when you can feel that it's digging into the skin. And that, it's not enough to bother me, but I did notice that because on some mice, you know, your fingers kind of lands like on the bottom like that, so it wouldn't bother your nail. But because this is an ambidextrous mouse and it offers a straight line down, it does hit my nail right there, and it can be a little bothersome, but not too much. Just pointing that out. Like I said about the buttons, I use a claw palm hybrid style to grip this mouse, and my hand is 19 centimeters by 9.5. That is 19 length by 9.5 to the side, and this feels relatively fine, honestly. I've got no real issues with this whatsoever. I use it relatively comfortably. I can use the buttons immediately, like I said, like particularly like in Overwatch, where I have these set to my abilities 4 and 5. So I have to be, if I'm playing like Roadhog and then I'm aiming and clicking with the left and right buttons as well, of course, and then I use the thumb to hook someone, well, I can't, reach up to the button. I need to have instant access to it. So the placement of the buttons right here allows me to do so effortlessly, and that's pretty nice. I do wish the buttons were a little bit larger though, because they can be a little not quite as easy to press. Like they're there, but you need to really press down so that you can make sure your thumb reaches that button with ease. So a little complaint, but it's not so bad. What else can I say? So overall, as far as the Model O goes, I kinda recommend it, and here's why. Maybe the matte option would be it's definitely more bang for your buck, that's for sure. And it might be a little more worth it as far as the build is concerned, because the build on this just really feels way too cheap for a $60 mouse, and the RGB I found was equally disappointing, but at least it's something. But as far as the sensor is concerned, this is using the second newest PixArt, I believe PixArt sensor, 3366 if I'm not mistaken, which will definitely not yield you any issues whatsoever, other than that debounce time issue, which, well, I already told you, you adjust it and it's perfectly fine. So I would say you wouldn't encounter any issues with that, but hey, they have a return policy just in case, and I will update if there are some issues as far as like a return is concerned, or what other issues I encounter with the Model O. So just keep in mind, just keep an eye out for that. Really, that's all I have to say about the mouse. It's decent. Go for matte, don't go for glossy. And yeah, I would say I recommend you get it from Glorious themselves as opposed to going through Amazon, because the people selling through Amazon are resellers, and you never really know if they're going to give you the updated version or not. So you may as well just get it from Glorious. They accept PayPal. Super easy. It takes like a week to arrive to the house. It's not an issue for you. It should not be an issue. So yeah, but yeah, go for the matte. Just don't bother with glossy at all. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the videos if you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about the new headband method, because in case I forgot to mention in this video, I purchased a new headband and I'm kind of using that on my phone to like clamp my phone and use it kind of like a GoPro. So let me know what you think about that as opposed to my traditional method, which was just holding it with my left hand and, you know, displaying with my right. Let me know what you think, and yeah, go ahead and leave a comment, leave your opinions. You want to see more mice reviews? Let me know. All right, well, that'll be it. Thanks for watching.